The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
Welcome to the Senior Show, where we are two wild and aging guys. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein, with co-host Tim Kennedy. Say hello, Tim.
Hey, good morning. Actually, good afternoon, Neil. Thanks for having me. It's always great to be on the Senior Show with you. Boy, we're going on almost 3 months, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
And we're having tremendous success.
And fun.
And fun, right?
Yes.
Listen, a day without laughter is a day wasted. That's from Charlie Chaplin, by the way.
I like that. Well, you know, we talk about change. Change is like one of our taglines, as you want to say. And
well, we help people change with peace of mind and experience, Neil, because we have plenty of experience between the two of us.
Oh, yeah.
But we also have the backing of many, many, many professionals out there in all walks of life.
Right.
That could also possibly help you get through something that you may not be sure of.
Right.
Maybe something that you anticipate, or maybe something that, you're elbow deep in it. And how can I get out of it?
Right. Interesting. So one of the big changes that occurred, I'd say, in the last 2 days is my wife buys a lot of stuff on Amazon, right?
That's no change, Neil. I don't want to break it to you, but nothing has changed in that scenario.
No, what's changed is the prices.
Okay.
Basic things like, I use agave instead of sugar, okay? She's paying $50 a jar. I go, what? That's $20. No, it was $20. Now it's $50.
No more agave for you, Neil.
No, all I'm saying is the prices are double, and we're giving this BS about inflation rate's 3%, 5%. It's BS because I know what we're paying, and I filled my car up the other day, $111. Yeah, I was like, "Are you serious?"
I know, but Neil, here's the deal: you and I, right, have the luxury or the ability and the willingness to get up every morning and go to work and earn more money to cover that. But there are a lot of people out there now that are on, fixed incomes or set salaries where they don't, and God bless us that we have the luxury to do that.
Right.
But there are more people than we think out there that are on limited incomes or fixed incomes that can't handle that increase in all these costs.
Right. And it's funny because my products actually have gone down in price because people are living longer. So when they buy life insurance, it's actually cheaper because the insurance company doesn't have to pay out as quick. So they actually charge less. It's one of the few things they can say, hey, but that means I make less money, right?
That means you got to get up
earlier. But I have more expenses. That means I have to...
Right. Well, you got to get up earlier.
More.
You got to get up earlier, Neil. Yeah.
Trying to figure this all out, but the economy is a frightening thing. So, how do we hedge inflation? And I got a caller and a visitor, a couple of visitors, and I was describing on my other show, the Main Street Code for Financial Success, about indexing inside life insurance and inside annuities. And I was trying to describe this step, and they came back to me and said, I want to know about the step.
Isn't it cool?
I love that people can visualize what I'm trying to say without me drawing it on a picture, drawing on a piece of paper. So basically, what do I mean by a step? So, the market goes up and down. So if you look at market charts, you see it goes zigzag, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So if you look at a fixed investment, it may go slow. It goes up, but it doesn't go down, but it goes up slower maybe than the market. But, when you're trying to gauge your expenses or keep up with inflation, it may not keep up with inflation. So now a lot of what people are doing inside insurance policies, whether it be an annuity or life insurance, is they do something called indexing. And basically, if the market does really well, you get to participate in it. So a lot of them will say track the S&P 500. Maybe they'll track the NASDAQ. S&P 500 is typical.
And this was an individual that called you listening from the show.
Oh, absolutely.
And repeated this whole process to you.
He came in. He says, this is what I want. Okay. This is what I want. And I want to buy this thing. So, which was great. And I have to get back to him today, actually. But basically, so the way I describe this step is very simple. You buy inside the index, and maybe they'll cap it. Maybe it's a cap of 10%, let's say.
That's okay.
So the market maybe went up 20%, but you get 10. But if the market drops, and I got to tell you something, we are in for a big hit. I don't know if it's this month, next month, and I'm not a stock guy, but I watch trends, I watch the bond market, I see what's going on in the market, I watch oil prices, I keep my eye on these things. I'm a fixed guy. But if you look at the trend, we're due for a hit because stocks are overvalued like crazy. The billionaires are making more billions. You and I are not, unfortunately, which I'm reminded of every day. But because prices are going up, so we got to be concerned, especially as we're aging. How do I beat inflation? So what this does is you buy the S&P 500, let's say, and if it goes up 10%, you get 10%. If it goes up 20%, you get 10%. If it goes down, you get 0. 0 becomes your hero. So how that works is this. It'll go up, and wait a minute, we had a bad year. There's the step. It goes level, and then we have a great year. Up, goes up again. Go
so
up that step.
0 is your par, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's your hero. So, and the amazing thing is, the market's up 7 out of 10 years. So you could statistically, since the beginning of the market, you hit a 0, it's almost a good thing, because after you hit a bad market, like after 9/11, and everything dropped, and you didn't lose any money, and then all of a sudden, 9/12, the next year, 2012, I guess it was, the market was booming. The following year is booming. It goes way down, and it comes roaring back, just like oil prices, like anything. It's just the way it works. So you're almost happy when you hit that bad year. Last week we spoke about, I don't know if I did it on our show. I talked about what's the worst year.
Yes, you did. You mentioned that last week. Yep.
Yeah, what's the worst year? I'm anticipating this could be the worst year if you've got a ton of stocks and that's your retirement. You really have to have some balance, and evidence will point to that, but this indexing can hedge some of that.
Hedge that bet, right? Yep.
Hedge the bet. So I thought that was great, and you got a great call.
That's an awesome call. Yeah, so I got a call as well, and this is a loyal listener. He was listening to me from the time that I had the It's Just a Mortgage radio show, and now he was happy to hear me back on this show with you, the senior show, which we air every Monday at 5 p.m., and he called me. He had a situation where him and his significant other paid off the mortgage.
Okay.
And now they get a notice from the bank that there's a balance due. They don't know why, where, or how, what this is all about. And they're concerned because they don't have the funds necessarily to write a check. So I'm doing some homework trying to figure out what that is. But ideally, he called because he's been listening to the show, and he finally got the gumption to call because they're in a free and clear house, $650,000. They have this small lien, $30,000, $40,000, both over the age of 62. But listening to the show, they learned that you still maintain home ownership. It's still your house. Yes, we're going to take a portion of the equity as it grows and compounds because you're not making payments. But the amount of equity that's going to be left over in that home at the end of the day is still going to be pretty substantial. And any money they have left in what I call bucket 2, their stocks, bonds, IRAs, 401ks, whatever money they have in their retirement account, that's still going to be there. Right. But the idea that they can now access and touch the equity in their home is a game saver for them, because now they have another bucket of money that they can access, and it's tax-free money. So he's been listening to the show. Right. Finally got into a situation where, hey, I have all this equity in the house. Why aren't I using it? Right.
And what's interesting, and it's a very powerful tool, unlike a traditional mortgage, which really looks at your income, you're not so worried about the income. That's the big difference.
Yeah, well,
because many of us, after we're retired, where's the income? Well, I got Social Security, maybe got a pension, but that's not a reliable income for a mortgage company, and that's where...
And it's not enough, right? It's only a supplemental income. It's not going to cover, the mortgage plus all your housing expenses and other expenses.
Right. So that's where...
in most scenarios...
the equity lines come in.
They don't qualify that line of credit or that traditional mortgage. The reverse mortgage is based off of age and home value. Is that the music, Neil? Is that the break already?
I can't believe it.
Hey, Tim Kennedy here. I am your certified reverse mortgage professional. You can reach me at 516-729-6040, or you can reach me at timtalksreverse.com.
And this is Neil Himmelstein. Best way to reach me is 631-647-4694, or visit me at themainstreetcode.com. And happy to talk your situation over with you.
Yeah, man. See you in a little bit.
Right back. Welcome back to the Senior Show, where you have two wild and aging guys. I'm Neil Himmelstein. I'm here with Tim Kennedy, and we're having fun.
Having fun, Neil. Listen, it's taken us several months to get it down, but I think we finally got the wild and aging guys down. So congratulations.
It's all good. Yes, congratulate my wife. She thought of it. And
kudos to your wife. Thank you very much.
Good thing. So, anyhow, we've got such a lineup of guests coming. I mean, we have the state attorneys. We have people in senior living, a brain counseling center.
Well, they do. Yeah. So, we talk a lot about, remember we had some guests here in the past about, managing and maintaining your body and your health and, the massage therapist and the weight training. And, but yeah, how about training your brain?
Training your brain. That's huge. We have my cardiologist wants to come on, so we're going to have him come on the show. So what I ask of you, if you'd like to be on our show, give us a call. And we're happy to entertain you. Anything that affects your life affects us. Listen, we're all aging, and there's a lot of things that are on our minds.
Can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
So, yes, getting back to just, I apologize for cutting you off, but if somebody's out there and you're listening to our show and you think you have something that can help us or help our listeners, give us a call.
Yeah.
You can call me direct, 516-729-6040, and we'll schedule a date to get you in here and get you on the radio. Yeah. But I want to tell you something funny, Neil. Last week, I did a presentation at David Howe and Siegel law firm there, Elder Law and Estate Planning.
Sure.
Huge on Long Island.
Yep, they sure are.
You may hear Lawrence. He has a podcast, and he does some other stuff.
And Steve Stern, who's a local legislator as well.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do my show last year, and I just didn't follow up. I mean, they're busy with
all their stuff, right? So anyway, this is a funny story. This woman walks into my presentation. I had about 20 seniors in the room, and I'm preparing to get ready. And she walks in, and she's got the walker.
Right.
Took her 10 minutes from the front door into the conference room to sit down. Had to be in her mid to late 80s. And it just so happens that she's sitting right next to me. So I tend to use her as my examples as I'm going through my presentation, right? And about 35 minutes into the presentation, she says, "Oh, Mr. Kennedy, I'm sorry. I don't want to mislead you in any way, shape, or form, but this reverse mortgage isn't for me. It's for my father."
Wow. Crazy.
I think it just got to. I think I was getting to my presentation where I was telling people, the reverse mortgage becomes due and payable on your 150th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And she says to me, "Well, my father's almost there. He's 107."
Wow.
So she was there getting information for a reverse mortgage for her dad that was 107 years old, and she had to be in her mid to late 80s. And after we were done, she was like, "Yeah, nope, I was here for my father." And I said, "Well, listen to me. You may want to have this conversation as well."
Yeah. Liquidity's big. When we get older, it's part of the whole health thing. We talk about the finances and this and that, and costs of oil. But one of the big costs is our health. And going to doctors, making copays, or paying Medicare supplement insurance, and or paying copays at different doctors, or taking care of somebody else is expensive.
My wife, drives my wife crazy because we're going through all the, we go to our regular cardiologist routine visits, the colonoscopy, and my wife has all her other set of doctors, and drives my wife crazy that we have health insurance. We're paying a monthly health insurance. We pay the copay, and then we still get a bill for above and beyond the cost. She's like, why are we paying for health insurance? It feels like the payments never stop.
They don't, and
even with the health insurance.
The problem is, being on Medicare, and not just traditional health insurance. Even, I'm still getting bills where I have a supplement, and I'm not supposed to get bills, but
you still get billed.
If you don't know. Like, I spend a couple hours every month going through my bills with the insurance to make sure they pay. Now, if my wife got the bill before I did, she'd just pay it. And I'm saying to myself, don't pay it. Sometimes you'll get these bills and it hasn't been reconciled.
Right, exactly. Yep.
And I understand it. Listen, the hospitals need money, the doctors need money, but it's a very, very crazy thing, especially as we get older and we're not really keeping track like we should, or we're just, it's a process of paying bills, making sure things are right. And we have companies, actually I was going to bring one in that does bill paying for seniors and keeps you organized, because it's a whole nother process.
It's a part-time job.
It's a part-time job.
In my house, it's a part-time job, tracking and making sure what's correct, what's not correct, what's paid, what's not paid. Yeah.
And it's a big thing. And, it's part of, so health expenses, along with other expenses, can get very overwhelming, which is why you might want to hire somebody to pay your bills and keep you organized, and fight with the insurance companies and get paid, because maybe they're not paying a bill they should be paying, and you start paying out of pocket. Next thing you know, you have no liquidity, and you got to call Tim up and say, hey, let me look at my house here. I mean, my house is paid off, but I'm still getting bills.
Well, here's an interesting stat, Neil. They did a study a few months back, maybe a year ago, that individuals in homes over the age of 62 that paid off their mortgages,
right,
the next month the cost of pharmaceutical and health and all the other health-related items skyrocketed.
Really?
You know why?
No.
Because they didn't have any money. They were using the money to pay their mortgage.
Right.
And then when the mortgage got paid off, now they had accessible cash now to take care of themselves health-wise.
Right.
Which is a major problem. Because if you're paying a mortgage into your 80s and you're not taking care of your prescription drugs or your doctor's appointments, that could lead to disaster.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of interesting how people perceive what's important, what's not important.
Right. So I don't want to be pessimistic. This is what you got to look forward to, people.
Hey, how about those Knicks?
Hey, 2-0.
There you go.
2-0. I'm a big Knicks fan. I'm excited.
I'm a playoff fan. So I don't have the time, energy, or effort to watch a regular season hockey, baseball, football, basketball. But when it comes to the playoffs and New York is in the playoffs, then I become. I guess what type of fan is that? Is like a bandwagon fan?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, that's me.
I'm like that too. But with the Knicks, listen. Growing up, let's just say that I went to Height Watchers 3 times a week. It didn't help. But I'm the 5th son of a family, and my father had a vegetable garden, which he cemented over and made a full-court basketball court. So growing up, they had to let me play. It was my court, my ball,
right,
and my rims. And I was good on my rims and my old wooden backboards. So I love the sport of basketball.
Neil had to play.
Yes. But when I was in high school, and when I started high school, I was 4'6" and weighed 89 pounds. I wasn't very fast. I had a nice round belly, and I wasn't very tall.
So now you're 4'6", 189?
Yeah. I've grown a couple inches, both in girth and height. But I grew a little bit. But again, I always had this passion. I still believe in my dreams that I can dunk a basketball, and I don't think I can dunk an 8-foot basket, let alone a 10-foot basket. But I have that passion for basketball, and I love watching the Knicks.
They're unbelievable.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
exciting. When I was in high school, and the Knicks had just drafted Patrick Ewing,
Right.
And, the conversations about all the championships we were going to win with Patrick Ewing. Oh, man, it was fun times.
Right. Well, when I was a kid, Earl the Pearl Monroe played for the Baltimore Bullets, because I grew up in Baltimore, and then got traded to New York, or he got bought out or something. That broke my heart. But I read his book. I loved his story. He wasn't a very tall guy either growing up. So anyhow,
there you go.
I can relate to it.
All right, let's go Knicks, man. Come on.
All right, you got it.
Hey, Tim Kennedy, if there's something I said today that piqued your interest or maybe put the piece of that puzzle together, give me a call. Tim Kennedy, your certified reverse mortgage professional, 516-729-6040.
And I'm Neil Himmelstein, and the best way to reach me is 631-647-4694. I can help you with all your insurance and planning needs.
Hey, Neil, see you next week.
You got it.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.